Good evening and welcome to another fantastic episode of SEGASonic Radio. I am your host, as always, GX, aka Chris, aka the Spin Dash. And it's time for the weekend. But it's also time for computers. Theme this week is Computer Jam. I prompted you guys to send in your computery tracks, whether they be cyberspacey or robotic or, you know, however you wanted to interpret it. And you obliged. I also got in some good questions and asked at least one question regarding Sonic mods. You guys were happy to discuss your favorites. We'll jump into that later in the episode. And of course, we will have our normal segments. Things like the Quizzone. Things like our music fight. And of course, we got an audio cue tonight. So look forward to that. A little bit of housekeeping. And this is unfortunately going to be especially taxing to our UK audience. I think I've been dwelling on this for a while, and I believe that I am going to be shifting... okay, believe is not the wrong term. I'm going to be shifting the start time of the show a little bit, starting next week. Starting next week, rather than starting at 7, I am going to be starting at 7:30. A lot of that has to do with prep time for the show itself. You've probably experienced the fact that, like, hey, GX really has a hard time trying to start at 7. The answer is yes. Yes, I do. So I'm just going to formalize it and say, no, we're going to start at 7:30. What that means for starting at 7:30 will be that... I'm trying to think if it means I want to go live. It means the aim is going to be going live at 7:20 for the countdown and starting at 7:30. But I'm not ready to fully commit to that. It still might slide week to week depending on the preparation needs. So, you know, just prepare for that. Just prepare for that. With that said, let's kick things off with a very quick... or Spinbox. Blech. Tongue no work tonight. Sonic Trainer asks, have you ever played Sonic Schoolhouse? Short answer, no. Longer answer, I do own it. I actually have a CD-ROM of it. It was one of the things that I had purchased in anticipation of eventually getting to stream and have my first experience be, you know, a live stream thing and have fun with that. However, I haven't had an opportunity to do so yet, and also it's kind of weird to get running. Like, I'm probably gonna have to run an old version of Windows in DOSBox, which I kind of have half set up, but I don't know if it's good all the way, and that's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's gonna require me to research and test and everything before I go live with it, but yeah, I want to, but we'll see how that goes. No Sonic Schoolhouse in tonight's playlist, but we do have some Sonic Frontiers, including one requested by Sonic Trainer. We also got some great tracks, one of Sonic and one of non-Sonic in the first segment. Enjoy, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Hey, welcome back. That was No Pain, No Gain from Sonic Frontiers, requested by Sonic Trainer, followed up by Final Interrogation from The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, that game might be important later on in the show. Wrapping it up with Chill It Right, one of the many fantastic retro-y internet tracks from Hypnospace Outlaw. A game very much about computers. About an alternate reality, late 90s, early 2000s, mid-90s internet. It's old internet, but it's the internet you view. It's like specifically GeoCities. If you have nostalgia for a world of GeoCities and like web rings, I can't recommend Hypnospace Outlaw enough. It's fantastic. We got another Spinbox coming at you. Let's take a look. This one's from Karma Collector. Longtime Spinboxer. Hey! What are your opinions on Sage? And do you think she will return on future Sonic games in the main series, not counting spin-offs? In the abstract and in the expanded material, I would say Sage is pretty good. I think she fills a pretty solid role in, like, fleshing out Dr. Eggman a bit. Like, she exists as an enemy that is not inherently hostile, which is not something that the series necessarily has regularly. Even whenever you get into like character battles, that kind of stuff, it's like, no, this is a character that moves towards specific goals that may or may not align with what you want. Though she is largely aligned with with, we'll call it, the enemy faction or something. I've seen it done pretty well in the comics so far. I have seen it done well in CrossWorlds. The idea in Frontiers is good. I think the execution is weak. I don't think they, for lack of a more appropriate word, humanize her well enough in Frontiers, but I think the desire to do so was there. I would say, yeah, I would. She fills a gap in the series. I think she fills a gap in the series' need for more antagonists, and I think having a sympathetic antagonist, and especially an antagonist that in turn makes, you know, the big bad Dr. Eggman a more sympathetic character, is a positive move. I think the series broadly needs a greater variety of antagonists. I don't think we should be having... I don't think we should be having purely Dr. Eggman and then Dr. Eggman's Monster of the Week, who from ancient history, who comes to destroy the world. We have to defeat it. I think there's room for middle ground for us to have, like, more regular villains that can just kind of be in and out. Like, Metal Sonic's a good example. I have mixed feelings on the Deadly Six in that regard, but if you find ways to have dingus characters like Rough and... If you could implement, like, Rough and Tumble as, like, jobbers for series fights, that would be pretty good. If you could find a way to have Clutch be part of the series, I think that would be pretty good. Just someone to be... If you could have Sonic just regularly get into scraps with our favorite Team Rocket of the Babylon Rogues, who as soon as they realize that as soon as the writers realize that the Babylon Rogues aren't in any way cool, that as soon as we got out of the mid-2000s, and we realized, oh, these guys are dorks, then you could actually have fun with them, and I think you could have more interesting encounters with them. But yeah, like, Sage adds to the series in a very positive way. I'm just curious, like, going forward, how is she utilized? So, we've got a request coming in from Karma Collector, and we got some more songs. Not as many requests tonight. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It means I get to stretch my wings a little bit in terms of what's going on in the playlist, but it does mean I've spread them out a little bit farther, and we're gonna kick this segment off with some Shadow the Hedgehog. Enjoy, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Hey, and welcome back. That's Mad Matrix from Shadow the Hedgehog, as requested by the Karma Collector, followed up by Digital Dimension from Sonic Riders, wrapping it up with Vengeance is Mine, Circuit Freak remix from Sonic Generations 3DS. Obviously not a computer stage, but you know, has the vibes. Sega Sonic Radio is all about the vibes. And right now, we're about the quiz vibes. Because it's time for a Quizzone, everyone's favorite segment. As always, with the Quizzone, you can go ahead and guess in chat if you want. If you don't want to guess in chat, if you don't want to be spoiled, just hide chat and we'll let you know the answer after a song. We've got some Sonic trivia to quiz you with, so let's get on with it. Your Quizzone this week is about Phantasy Star. In Phantasy Star Online, Episode 1 and 2 on GameCube, what special unlockable can be sent to the Sonic Adventure GameCube games? Get your guess in while we take a listen to some Phantasy Star Online, Episode 1 and 2. Enjoy, get your guesses in, and I will catch you guys in a bit. That was Chaotic Bar from Phantasy Star Online, Episode 1 and 2. Once again, that quiz question for the Quizzone is, in Phantasy Star Online, Episode 1 and 2 on GameCube, what special unlockable can be sent to the Sonic Adventure GameCube games? Be Sonic Adventure and DX and Sonic Adventure 2. And I tried to give you a bit of a clue there in the little thumbnail. We had Escape get it. It was indeed a Tails Chow. One of the things that you can do in Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2 is get a bunch of little mini-games that you can send to your Game Boy Advance. One of those mini-games is a tiny Chow Garden, like the ones that you would see in the Sonic Advance games, except this one has a Tails Chow in it, which, of course, you know, you could keep on the GBA and then change games over to Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2 and transfer him or her onto the other Chow Garden. So yeah, hey, if you want a Tails Chow, you're gonna need 2 games. There's not a lot of like direct character Chow, but I think you can get... I'm trying to remember how exactly you're supposed to get an Amy one, because I think an Amy Chow is possible, but I don't remember what the means are to do that. I would have to look it up, but yeah, Escape, yeah, you and I are on the same thought thread right there. We've got another, in a Knuckles Chow. I'll have to look that up later just to remind myself how you get the, promo discs and events. Fair enough. I bet there are other ways in these modern times with access to, files and editing, we'll say. Or just modding into a more robust Chow Garden. On various other formats. With that, though, we're going to continue on. We've got a double request in the next segment. So let's take one from Dodo and another from Glimmer. And we're starting off with something Dodo's been wanting me to have in the library for months. And I'm like, I don't have time to, and then I eventually did. So now that's where we are. Here's some Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Enjoy, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Hey, welcome back. That was Kazeu Tatsute. Sutate. Oh boy. It's the theme of Roll. I'm not good. I can't do this. I'm just going to continue to mutilate that word without having to very slowly sound it out. Oh boy. I'll practice in my spare time and get it better. Don't compliment me for that. That was an utter failure. Let's not pretend it was. Then we got, that was requested by Dodo from Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Cross Generations of Heroes. Followed up by Wishes in the Wind, requested by Glimmer from Sonic Frontiers. Wrapping it up with Trespasser from Sonic Adventure 2. We got another Spinbox. Let's fish into the Spinbox with Escape, who asks, do you use mods in Sonic games? If so, which ones? We have a lot of people on staff who really highly prioritize mods. There's like a couple that I lean on. I think there's a lot of good opportunities in Frontiers to kind of clean up sort of the weird messiness that game sometimes has, or to kind of, expand out its sandboxness whenever it seems pretty good. Knuckles brings up literally required for a couple games on PC. Like, yeah, if you're playing something that old, like, it's just absolutely necessary for functional for like certain old games. I haven't leaned that hard into it lately. Not for lack of interest, but just kind of for lack of time and attention. I like CrossWorlds is something that I should be messing a lot around with mods in, especially like some of the voice mods and stuff, and just haven't had much of an opportunity on. But in the past, like, I absolutely have. We have done plenty of coverage for the Sonic Hacking Contest every year, which is a big showcase and competition for mods around the Sonic community, and have yielded a lot of big, interesting, cool things. Everything from, like, full-on ROM hacks to more specific, like, mechanical cleanup ROMs. And I've touched a little of each. I think the type of mod I love the most is one that makes you really rethink or recontextualize how you're playing a game. That changes things dramatically in a way that it might not be like a dramatic, completely reskinning of a game, but something where character locomotion or character abilities can change quite a lot. One of the streams I did somewhat recently was, I'd say a couple months back, was Mega Man X in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and you legitimately have to rethink how you play that game to have it make sense. Even more so, like, I had legitimate reason to play Bubsy in Sonic 2. You really have to think about how you're playing Sonic 2 as that character, because he will die whenever you impact things wrong or take fall damage. Doesn't matter how many rings, he is a one-hit death character. So, yeah. There's some weird stuff that certainly is kept in the back of my mind. Things like there's like a Tony Hawk Sonic mod that I played for Sonic Generations, where it just it creates a specialty stage, and then you're just classic Sonic on the skateboard in 3 dimensions, but he has a Tony Hawk head, and you just skate around for an amount of time trying to get to the end, and that's bizarre and interesting. There was a conversion mod that I remember fondly that is that transforms one of the stages in Sonic Mania into why am I thinking Mystic Cave. That was functionally a full graphics and level design conversion mod that was very impressive, that I really liked the ways that they changed up the visual design for it and reused and re-implemented some of the gimmicks of that stage. It's a really cool one. On the topic of Mania, one of my favorites that I don't know if it even works anymore because of the various updates that that game has had. There was one for Sonic Mania that replaced all of the special stages with Super Mario Kart for Super Nintendo tracks. So it's all like it's still the special stages, but you know, you've got the Mario Kart tracks that you're running through in 2D space. That that's a novelty I really enjoy. There's a crazy one where you have to. There's a crazy one for Sonic Generations where you have to include a ROM of Mario 64 because you play Sonic Generations as Mario of Mario 64. And a lot of the levels in it are darn near unplayable unless you're an absolute expert at the game. I love it so much. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, I have a hard time, like, specifying things. I guess there's one that I would say that I absolutely adore. Well, that I would say makes a game much more playable. And it's a camera hack for Sonic Superstars. I have so much issue with Sonic Superstars field of view, and someone just made a mod that's like, yeah, we'll just pull out the field of view. You can set the field of view to whatever you want. And that's, that dramatically helps that game. It doesn't fix everything about that game, but it dramatically helps that game. I don't really want to play that game very much without a mod that fixes that element of it. That should be basic functionality for that game, not the requirements of a mod, or not the addition of a mod. So yeah, we've got a request from Escape, and we got some eclectic choices from other Sega games, I should say. So enjoy, and we're heading to the CrossWorlds. I'll see you guys on the other side.
The light.
Hey, welcome back. That was Cyberspace, CrossWorlds remix from Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, as requested by Escape to the City, followed up by Game Center from Binary Domain, wrapping it up with Chemixtrix, a remix of Sonic 2. A fine overclocked remix. You can find it and so many more over at ocremix.org. That one in particular was by Prototype Raptor. You know, it's about the middle of the show. We're at about a show middle. And show middle means we should check in with the loop. It's time for In the Loop. I asked y'all what your favorite Sonic game mods were, and you were happy to share. Starting with Hasbomi. Hasbomi says, in Sonic Mania Repainted, prepare for absolute pure mayhem. I'm gonna have to look into that one. That is not one that I have heard of before, and I hadn't had a chance to check it out before the show, so good excuse to see. Follow up with Sonic Trainer, who says, my favorite mod is Sonic the Very Useful Engine, which turns the assets in zones into faces of Thomas the Tank Engine and replaces Robotnik with Sir Topham Hatt. Sounds amusing and silly. Escape to the City says, there's some mod to add more food to the Chow Garden, and you can feed your Chow stuff like ice cream and pizza, but there's also, like, candy cigarettes? I don't know why feeding a Chow a cigarette is so funny to me, but instantly became my favorite mod for it. No, I could see that. I could see how funny that would be. I can understand the amusement of that. Glimmer says, I think I would like to have an option to switch between normal and super forms at any time without the need of rings or a chance to make certain voice lines that are cringing into something how it should have been. I will tell you, Glimmer, I really liked, and by liked, I mean I was deeply frustrated by the fact that I felt like I needed, a mod for Sonic Frontiers that let me do exactly that just let me automatically transform in and out of supersonic form whenever I wanted to. Specifically for, Final Horizon. Like, I got really annoyed with Final Horizon. I did not like any of the Sonic content in it. I liked some of the other characters, but everything they made for Sonic in that expansion, just, I found frustrating and unpleasant, and occasionally just boring. And I did not like the, tower climbs in that. I found them to be very annoying, and once I got fed up for it, but had to finish it so that I could talk about it on a podcast, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna find a mod to become supersonic, transform, and whoop, just go straight up the thing, and get to the top of it as the game needed me to. So, MFA says, my favorite mod for a Sonic game is the Bio-Lizard over Patrick in CrossWorlds. This one is very funny. You can find, I believe this is pretty easily findable over on Game Banana. I've seen this one before where, it replaces Patrick of SpongeBob fame, with a model of Bio-Lizard that has been rigged to fit Patrick's various, we'll say, skeleton structure and animations, which is very amusing. Very amusing. I would love to see it with some of the voice packs. That seems like that would be grand fun. Ratchet says, the Raru arm for Sonic Mod 4 Frontiers. Raru arm being Link's really hecked up arm from Tears of the Kingdom. I love the glow it gives off. Fair enough. They're very open world toned, I guess. Yeah, the Hedgehog says, there's so many mods to choose from. If I had to guess, my favorite overall would probably be Unfair Seaside Hill level mod for Sonic Generations, only for the lulz. I don't know, sounds like a... I don't know, sounds vaguely Kaizo if I had to take a guess, but by the name purely, but I don't know, there's a lot of ways that you could make that level unfair. But thank you all for your submissions, but I think it's time. It's time for a music fight. Every week we pit two songs against each other in the pit of popular choice. Your choices this time were Scrapyard 2 from Sonic Boom Shattered Crystals, pit up against Ocean Palace from Sonic Heroes. And it wasn't as blowout as I thought it might be, but it was pretty much a blowout. So with 75% of the votes, here is your winner for the week. Enjoy. That was Ocean Palace from Sonic Heroes, your winner for the week. Let's take a preview of next week's bout. And we've got Fist Bump FM version from Sonic Forces against What Would Sonic Do from the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. You can vote right now if you would like. I'm dropping our URL into the chat. If you want to get a vote in early, you can do that right this second. FM version, it's a chiptune-ish thing. It's cool. Go check it out if you need a preview. If not, you can always just vote for it and it'll come up next week. Maybe. That's your music fight for next week. Hey, I might as well let you know, I've already determined what next week's theme will be, and don't worry about requests too much, because next week is going to be a host choice for some important reasons, for some very important reasons, but we'll get into that another time. I'll let you know why on Monday. With that, I think we should, though, get into our next request. Oh, real quick, we did have a Spinbox that I'm not going to fully address, but I will say, hey, Glimmer sent in a Spinbox, just, poking and prodding me to get the old episodes up on YouTube, which, yes, I need to do. I will make that. I will make time. I've been working on some very video rendering intensive projects as of late, and the problem with rendering a lot of video is that it functionally uses all of your time to all of your CPU power to achieve that typically, and I've been using that as a priority and working on other projects, be it things related to the site, things related to personal stuff, or building out a studio corner for potentially other stadium projects, video-related stadium projects, but that'll be a discussion for another time, hopefully tantalizing you for other things that we might have over on the site in the near future, hopefully over the summer. Keep an eye out. We've got a request from Keibuki. We've also got some other songs coming up, including some Monkey Ball. So let's take a listen. Gonna kick it off with some Sonic Superstars, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Enjoy. Hey, welcome back. That was Cyber Station Zone Act 1 from Sonic Superstars, requested by Kibuki, followed up by Funky Techno 2021 from Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, wrapping it up with Dark Arsenal from Team Sonic Racing. Got another Spinbox coming at you from Keanu the Hedgehog. If the Sonic level mods ever return in future Sonic game, which classic/modern levels from past Sonic games will make a return? I don't fully understand this question, but I will say, I'm assuming it means, hey, if future Sonic games got mods, what kind of mods would you want to see? Or rather, like, what mods would you like to see modded into other games in that way, in the sort of, like, style of how, like, this feels like it definitely comes from a place of acknowledging, like, Sonic Generations had a real healthy modding scene, like, a real impressively healthy modding scene, in a way that, was always very impressive. The ways in which people would just, like, you could just play all of the daytime stages of Sonic Unleashed in Sonic Generations, which is a very impressive feat. It continues to be very impressive to this day that people were able to accomplish that. What specific levels would I want to see for that? I like the idea, conceptually, of taking modern Sonic levels and modern Sonic aesthetics and sort of demaking them, I guess you would say, into, like, original classic Sonic aesthetics and level design and gameplay. Like, if you could if there's something I find incredibly fascinating about, let's say, like, the mobile version of Sonic Unleashed, where Gameloft functionally just kind of made a Sonic Rush adjacent game. Obviously not as good as Sonic Rush, but the fact that, like, they just turned Sonic Unleashed into a sprite-focused game, and you could play that if you want. It's an obvious, hey, it has all the problems with, like, with a classic Java phone game, but it's impressive that they did as much as they did with it, and it's not something that I see much in the community, the demake, the demake attempts. But I would love to see it. I would love to see something like a City Escape, but in 16-bit art, or a Space Colony Arc, or even if you wanted to try, like, what if you just remade... I think some people have made this attempt at a ROM hack before, but what if you turned Sonic 4 into something that could really actually run on a Genesis with a more traditional Sonic, you know, engine with physics and such? Would be very fascinating. That's kind of what I'd like to see. Just old, modern, but now old. Yeah. It's an interesting one, Knuckles. I'll tell you that. It is a very interesting and bizarre game. Godspeed if you get it to work. And you get through it. But also we have a request from Kiana. We also have one from MFA. So let's head to it. We're heading back to the Shadow the Hedgehog. Because the Shadow the Hedgehog, that's a game with a fair bit of computery stages. Though this one's not quite it. But I'll tell you, the remix certainly has the vibe. Enjoy! And I'll catch you guys in a bit. Hey, welcome back. That was EGGMAN Doc Robeatnik Mix from Shadow the Hedgehog, as requested by Keanu the Hedgehog, followed up by Technodrome Redux from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, requested by MFA. Wrapping it up with Inside Factory from Sonic Boom Rise of Lyrics. Lyric, just one. Not multiple. He's only one lyric. No, he's just a single word within a song. That's all we know. With that, I think it's about time for another quick quiz. And we've got an audio cue. That's right, it's time to guess the game based on the song. This is, once again, a SEGA-published game. So take a listen. You can guess in chat if you want. If you don't want to guess in chat, you certainly do not have to. And we'll let you know the answer after it's done. Hey, welcome back. Once again, the audio cue is a SEGA-published game. What song is it from? It is a Master System game based on an anime. And Knuckles got it. It is, in fact, Zillion. The classic Master System duology of games. But this was specifically the first one, and specifically, what are the early songs? Inside Planet. Zillion is a game I have certainly poked at once or twice. I've got a big dopey collection of weird Master System cartridges that are just all over the place. Whenever I was going on my console buying spree about 15 years ago, being like, I gotta learn what all these consoles are like. I gotta own a Saturn. I gotta own a Master System. What if I just get however many games that I possibly can for the least amount of money in some sort of crazy bundle? And then I wound up with a whole bunch of Master System games, including this one, in fact. Zillions is weird, but I'm going to read out, like, number one, it is a game based on an anime, which kind of makes it rare on its own, especially in regard to being on the Master System, which was not common for a lot of, not necessarily licensed games. There were plenty of licensed games on the Master System, but ones specifically based on anime were few and far between, and those also, you know, there just weren't a lot. But I want to read the plot here from Wikipedia, because the plot of the Zillion TV series is kind of nuts. The story takes place on the planet Maris in the year 2387. Around this time, the Noza civilization, led by Empress Admis, started a genocide program to kill all humans in order to lay eggs and reproduce on the planet. 3 mysterious guns, dubbed the Zillion weapon system, appear, and 3 teen soldiers, JJ, Champ, and Apple, are chosen to wield them as a task force called White Nuts, known as the White Knights in the English version. I can't imagine why they decided to localize it that way. Whose purpose is to fight back against the Noza. So enjoy that. Enjoy getting to know about the anime series Zillion, which I didn't even know was localized. I'm gonna have to look for that. That's our audio cue for the week. We got a couple more songs to throw at you, including the opening theme of Zillions itself, but we also got a request from Hasbo-Me. And, maybe some Mega Man. Maybe we've got some Mega Man in the mix there. Enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Hey, welcome back. That was Pure Stone, the main theme from Zillion, followed up by Phi Theme from Sonic Battle, requested by Hasbomi, wrapping it up with GROOOOOOVY from Mega Man Zero. Hope you enjoyed. Got one more Spinbox to throw at you tonight. This one's coming at you from Ratchet over on the Discord. What kind of animal would you be if you were in the world of Sonic the Hedgehog? Ratchet's just coming out here saying, like, Jex, what is your fursona? Raccoon. It'd probably be a raccoon. Oh, I like raccoons. Raccoons are cool. They're cute. They're, I don't know, adorable little trash bears that are also relatively, you know, you don't want to have to deal with them because of all the issues that they bring with them. But in the abstract, raccoons are adorable. I have a small collection of, I have a large collection of various plush, but I have a specific small collection of just raccoons that I love, that are great. So yeah, straightforward answer. Oh, Knuckles, I know. I'm aware. Though I have dropped the second half of that name for a long time. So there are lingering uses of Echidna in places on the internet where I have used this handle for a while, but that does not necessarily indicate that that I stay true to, like, that species as my personal handle. But if you're giving me the choice, like, I'm gonna go with raccoon. Like, raccoons even, like, they have... You figure, like, what is a raccoon gonna be good at in that? Like, they're gonna probably be nimble, they're gonna be athletic, they're gonna have very, they're going to be very good with their hands, which is something that, like, given all the types of hobbies that I get up to, would be very good. Yeah, I'm going with raccoon. We have a request from Ratchet over here. We also got some, we got an arcade track in this little segment. Our last major song segment of the night. So I hope you enjoy. And I'll catch you guys on the other side after some Sonic Frontiers.
Light.
welcome back. That was Flowing from Sonic Frontiers as requested by Ratchet, followed up by Cosmic Angel Zone from Sonic Advance, wrapping it up with Earth Light from Cyber Troopers Virtual On, the arcade version. We're wrapping up our evening as it approaches the late times. Speaking of the late times, since a couple people came in, I want to kind of reinforce this. Starting next week, the show will begin a half an hour later from the previously normal start intro time. We will be consistently starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is largely a reaction to my continued starting at that time anyway, as I attempt to, you know, get things together for the show. So we're just formalizing something that has kind of been informal for a while now. The aim will be to have the countdown start at 7:20 to start properly at 7:30, but we'll see how that goes. It's still going to fluctuate a little bit week to week, just so that I can make sure that I have everything I need to get together for the show so that it can start. But 7:30 has been cutting it too close as of recent, and you know, it's easier to just take that pressure off. So with that said, hey, my opinions are my own, but the show in general is under the banner of Sonic Stadium over at sonicstadium.org, one of the internet's longest running Sonic fan communities. Go check it out. We've got a plethora of news, and we're pretty sure June ain't gonna be any slower. We're pretty sure that, you know, June's gonna be busy. So you might want to pretty regularly go check over at that sonicstadium.org, because the news ain't gonna quit. Plus, you know, we got forums. You can find new discussions. Dredd just announced a new feature over on the site, a new little add-on for the service called Friends. If you want to have, I need to finish reading through all the patch notes for this. But if you want to connect with others over on the site, you can do so with the new Friends feature. You know, have a good time with it. Find a great little community over there. Our next, our information on next week's will go up on Monday, but there will not be requests. It is going to be a host choice for a very big, important reason. But most of all, like, hey, we hope to see you next week. And if you had a good time, there's lots of ways you can express that, be it through a subscription, or a sub, a follow, or my favorite one, just like word of mouth. If you think you know someone else who's gonna like the show, just let them know. It's the best way to share the show, is like, just, you know, let someone else know, hey, they do something cool over there. With that, though, we are going to close out the show tonight with some Sonic Colors Ultimate. An unusual choice, I would say, for a computer-focused episode, but I rather like this song, and I thought it'd be a good closer, so I hope you enjoy. Here's some Rival Rush to close things out. See you guys next week, and welcome to the weekend. I can't let you go without setting the vibe for the weekend. I love a good Jackbox song to set the vibe. So here's your vibe.
Look at us. We need an outlet for our enemies. So let's troll someone we've not met. Come get on the internet with me tonight while it's free tonight. Hey, look at you, full of salt and full of attitude. You're funny like no other. You belong on How I Met Your Mother. So tonight, let's go. Tonight, I'll survive the internet with you. Yes, I'll survive the internet with you. It's not the place for raillery. Leave out your good personality behind. We'll be fine, my friend, in time. Hey, look at we, throwing shade like we're some empathy. We know how to punctuate your. We wrote that spec script for Hangover 4, so let's tonight get set and fight. Yes, I'll